what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Fayy Lenee. Welcome. And if you are not new, you guys already know what it is. So thank you so much for coming back to my channel. So for today's video, I have a review for you guys. I'm going to be reviewing the new Physicians Formula Butter Collection that was created in collaboration with Casey Holmes. I was super excited when I saw that this was coming out because Casey is someone that I have supported here on YouTube for a really long time. I absolutely love her channel. She's from ATL, just like your girl. So I already knew that when her collection came out, I was going to support her. We have similar skin types. We're both oily. We both struggle with texture and large pores. So I was pretty confident that whatever it was that she was going to come out with would complement my skin concerns because we do have similar skin situations. So I'm very excited to share with you guys how this product performed on me. I did pick mine up from Ulta. This is what it looks like on the inside. So in this video, I will be demoing this product for you guys, giving you my first impressions and review, showing you how I created this look using the items inside of this collection, and of course giving you my final thoughts at the end of the video on how the products performed and whether or not I think they are worth your coin. So before we get into the video, if you are new, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below to join my fam here on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. You guys already know it helps me out a ton. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. Okay guys, so today we are going to be testing out the Physicians Formula Butter Collection that was made in collaboration with Casey Holmes. I was super excited to get my hands on this as soon as I saw that they were launching it. I'm a huge fan of Casey. She is from Atlanta, just like your girl, so I always love supporting her and I just love her channel in general. But this is what the inside of her collection looks like. So we've got some eyeshadows, a bronzer, a blush, a highlighter, a lip product, and a little perfume over here. So I don't know exactly what kind of look I want to create with this palette, but I know that I want to try to use as many, or if not all, of the colors as possible. So we're gonna see what I can come up with these shades. And I do already have the butter bronzer in the shade that she has it in the palette, so I'm actually gonna use this one since this one is already open and being used. I don't want to start using the other one since I already have one, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this one, but everything else, of course, I will be using out of the eyeshadow palette. So I did go ahead and prep my eyes. I just laid down some concealer and some loose setting powder, and I have some tape on my edges. You guys know I always do that to get a nice, sharp, crisp line, and of course went ahead and filled in my brows. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I think that these two matte eyeshadows are meant to be like transition shades. They're a little bit deep for me to go in right off the bat as a transition shade. So I'm actually going to start off with the bronzer shade. It's a nice warm brown, and I'm going to use that as my initial transition shade. Okay, so now that we have a nice warm transition happening, I'm gonna go in with the shade No Filter, which is this shade right here. Nice warm kind of orange tone shade. And I'm just gonna apply that right on top of the transition, but just a little bit lower than the color that I just applied. So for those first two shades, I actually use the same brush. I'm going to switch brushes now to one that is a little bit more tapered. I'm going to be using the Sedona Lace EB09 brush. It's similar to like a Sigma E25. And I'm going to be picking up the next darkest matte shade, which is this shade right here. This one is in the shade Tropic Like It's Hot. And I'm going to apply that directly into my crease right below that orangey brown shade. And I do have hooded eyelids, so I'm just lifting up my eyebrow as I'm applying this shadow just to make sure I'm putting it directly into my crease area. And then now that I have that applied, I'm just gonna go back in with the same fluffy blending brush that I used in the beginning and just blend out the edges. Okay, so far I'm really liking the way that it's looking. I think that all of the shadows blended really nicely and it just looks really good so far. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease. I'm just going to use my Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Sand and do like a little half cut crease on my eye. So next up, to set that in place, I'm going to go in with Do Not Disturb, which is this light shade right here in the palette, and I'm just going to apply that right on top of the concealer. Okay, so next up I'm going to go in with the green, which is this shade right here. It's called Palms Palms, and I'm going to apply that to my lid starting from the outer corner and work my way in. Okay, so actually I decided to switch brushes. I switched to this Real Techniques brush. I'm not sure, it doesn't, oh yes it does. It's called a shaping brush. It looks like this. It's basically like a little short shader brush. I think maybe this might accomplish what I'm trying. Yeah, okay, so because basically what I'm trying to do is pack on the shade and then also blend it into my crease. And I was using a short shader brush before and it just was not getting it done for me. Or a flat shader brush. I was using a flat shader brush before and it was just not working. But this is actually doing exactly what I want it to do. So I'm just pressing the shadow onto my lid and then kind of just buffing it into the crease at the same time. Okay, so I have to be honest, the green is beautiful, but it's a little bit more difficult to work with than I would prefer. It packs on beautifully, but when you try to like blend out the actual green shade, it's a little bit difficult to blend. So I'm gonna go back in with the shade Tropic Like It's Hot, which was the shade that we used in the crease, and I'm gonna try to blend out that green. Okay, so that actually looks really good to me. Those two colors blend really nice into each other, and I'm just taking this blending brush. It doesn't have any additional product on it, and I'm just using it to blend out the outer edges just to make sure that there aren't any harsh lines. Okay, so now for the moment of truth. Hopefully this comes together the way I actually see it in my mind, but I'm going to take the highlighter shade called Just Beachy, which is this beautiful shade right here, and I'm going to apply that all over my lid as my lid shade and blend it into that green color. That looks so beautiful. Look at that highlight. And it's actually coming out exactly the way that I was hoping it would look. So, and like I said, I am spraying my brush with Fix Plus before I actually apply the shade, which is helping it to apply nice and smooth. And I'm kind of just patting it onto my eye and then blending it out and just applying it in layers. Okay, so I'm actually having a moment because I was getting kind of nervous. I wasn't sure how this was gonna come together, but it's looking kind of cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my liner and lashes off camera, as well as my face products. I'm actually going to be doing a review on the new Fenty concealers. So if that video is up, I will link it for you guys if it goes up before this one. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up, and then I'll be back to show you guys the remaining products in the palette and how they apply to the face. All right, so I am back. Faces beat hunty, y'alls, and honestly I'm really loving the way that my eyes look. Like, I haven't played with color in a hot minute and I'm feeling this. Like, I'm living for this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the face now. First, I'm gonna go in with the Butter Bronzer. This is the same bronzer that is inside of the kit, but like I said, since I already have this one and I've already been using it, I'm just going to continue using that one instead of dipping into the new one. Now, I did see on Ulta that they actually finally expanded the shade range of this bronzer and added 2 deeper shades. So I had someone comment on a recent video of mine asking if I was going to pick up those shades and review them for you. So for that person, yes, I am going to pick up both of the shades and review both of them for you guys so that you can see what the shades look like, how they swatch, how they apply to my skin, and whether or not they did a good job with the shades that they chose. The product itself I already know is good, but hopefully these new deeper shades that they came out with are actually brown girl friendly, because you know. So that's all I'm going to say about that for right now, but I'm going to go ahead and go in with the deep bronzer and bronze my skin. I'm using the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill JH05 brush. I have been loving this brush for contouring, bronzing, all of the above. So I'm going to use that to apply this bronzer. Also, I did forget to mention to you guys, which you guys probably already can tell, but I went ahead and finished up my lower lash line. I literally just applied the same shadows in the same order that I did to my lid to my lower lash line. So the bronzer shade first, then that orangey shade, then the darkest, more red shade closest to my lash line, and then the green. And I also went in with this green liner in the shade Jade Jewel from Jordana Cosmetics and applied that in my waterline. So wanted to quickly go over all of that, but as you can see, the bronzer is on. My face is bronzed. The shade could be a little bit darker, of course, but hopefully we will fix that with the darker shades that they recently launched. But this is what the skin is looking like so far with the bronzer. So now let's go ahead and go into the blush and highlight, which honestly were the two things that I was most excited about in this collection. So the blush is right here. It looks beautiful. I think this has a lot of potential to be brown girl friendly, so I'm very excited. I hope that it is. This is in the shade Copper Cabana. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Morphe E4 blush brush to apply this to the cheeks. So this blush is definitely brown girl friendly, which I had a pretty good feeling that it would be. This would be beautiful for like the summertime, because it kind of has a little bit of a sheen to it. I mean, honestly, you could wear this blush anytime, but it does have a little bit of like a golden sheen to it that would probably look beautiful in the summertime. But the blush shade itself is very, very pretty. Okay. I'm feeling the blush, feeling the blush. Okay, so next up we're gonna go in with the highlighter, which is in the shade Just Beachy, this shade right here. Of course, we did already apply it to the lid. It looks beautiful as an all over lid color, but now we're gonna go ahead and apply it to the cheeks. And I'm a huge fan of Physicians Formula's highlighters. So if you haven't tried them out, I think they have 6 or 7 shades total. They are beautiful. So I highly recommend picking them up. But this one is like a champagne gold shade, so we're gonna go ahead and, okay. Very, very beautiful. This is actually low-key, whoa, more than I was expecting, honey. Girl, that highlight is popping. Okay, so I am thoroughly impressed with the highlighter. I mean, look how beautiful that is. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. Okay guys, so last but not least, there is a lip product in here. This is the Murumuru Butter Lip Cream. Hopefully I said that right. I'm pretty sure I probably butchered it, but this is what the product looks like. This packaging is super cute. And this one is in the shade, like I said, Pop the Bubbly, which is pretty shimmery. So hopefully I'm gonna like this. I was hoping this could be like a shade that I could throw in my purse and wear on a regular basis, but I did not realize that it was gonna be so shimmery. So this is what it looks like on my hand. It's actually not really that shimmery. It's more of like a glossy sheen, actually. So let's see how it looks on the lips. I went ahead and applied my MAC Cork lip liner, per usual. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this and see how it looks. Okay, so this is like super, like, I don't even know the word to describe. And please try not to pay attention to my crusty lips. I don't know what has been going on, but my lips have literally been peeling like crazy. Like, I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I know it's wintertime, but my lips have been struggling. Now, as far as the lip cream, I do like it. It definitely was not what I was expecting it to be. It's more of like a very sheer kind of lip cream. I was expecting it to be a little bit more pigmented, but this is definitely more of like a moisturizing lip cream slash lip balm that has a little bit of a pinkish tint to it. That's how I would describe this. But it's definitely super creamy and buttery on the lips, so I could see this being more of like just an everyday kind of quick throw on your lips moisturizing type of product. But yeah, I'm not mad at it. I just thought it was going to be a little bit more pigmented than it is, but it's definitely a nice, smooth, kind of creamy, buttery texture that is very moisturizing and comfortable on the lips. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take all my wrap situation down, and I will be back to give you guys my final thoughts on the butter collection. Alright, so I am back and ready to give you guys my final thoughts and wrap up this video and review on this collection. Now, before I get into my final thoughts, you guys know I always like to give you guys the details and the claims so that you will know, you know, if it did what it was supposed to do. So like I mentioned in the intro, I did pick this up online at Ulta, and it did retail for $19.99, which honestly, for Physicians Formula and the fact that they tend to be a little bit more on the high-end side of drugstore, $20 for a bronzer, blush, highlighter, lip product, perfume, and 4 eyeshadows is really not that bad. It's honestly a steal, just saying. But I did, of course, want to let you guys know it did retail for $19.99. And the whole idea behind this collection is that Casey wanted you to be able to create a full look from start to finish and pretty much have everything that you need, with the exception of like complexion products, of course, all in one little set. So it says on here, from eyes, lips, cheeks, fragrance, you basically have one makeup palette that allows you to create a complete look. So this whole little collection is supposed to kind of highlight some of their top sellers, but of course have a little bit of a twist because they are shades and colors and just a collection that Casey put together herself. Now, looking on the site right now on Ulta, I will go ahead and say that I do see that the collection is currently out of stock, but I do recall her mentioning that it is supposed to be restocking really soon, and you may be able to track it down in your local Ulta store if you are interested in picking it up. But I will still link it for you guys down below to make it super easy to find and to shop. And of course, you guys know, or you may not know, but Ulta does have an option where you can select for them to email you once it is back in stock. So just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. This has been a pretty popular launch for her, and it is sold out both on the Physicians Formula website as well as on Ulta Beauty as of right now when I'm filming this video. So now that we have all the details, the specifics out of the way, let's go ahead and get into my final thoughts about the products. So let's start out with the packaging. I do really love the way that this is packaged. The only thing that I kind of am hesitant about with this is the fact that I don't think that this is super travel friendly. It's a little bit bulky, it's kind of big, not really something that I would want to have to carry around with me and fit in my suitcase if I'm traveling. It just would take up a lot of space in my opinion. But I do think the way that it's put together, the actual packaging, the colors, and just even on the inside, the colors that she chose for the products, I just think it's really beautiful, and she definitely did a great job with the packaging. And it does have a beautiful picture of her on the back as well. Now, as far as the products on the inside, let's start off with the eyeshadows. So as I mentioned, you do get 4 eyeshadows, which you guys saw in the demo. You get 3 matte shadows and 1 shimmery green shadow. Now, the matte shadows, you guys, are beautiful, absolutely stunning. They apply to the eyes beautifully. They blend out beautifully. They blend it into each other beautifully. They are just bomb. These are eyeshadows that I could see myself reaching for pretty much any makeup look that I want to create, because these particular matte shadows are the colors that I tend to reach for transitions when I want to deepen up my crease. I love those warm kind of browns and red tones. Like, that is just, like, that's me. That's what I love. So I could definitely see myself reaching for the matte shades for sure. Now the green I think is beautiful, but I do have to be honest, it was a little bit difficult to work with. I kind of had to play around with it a little bit. As you guys saw in the demo, I had to try out a couple of different brushes before I found a way of applying it that was actually working for me. But once you get it on your eyes, it is stunning. But regardless, it was a shade that was easy to pack on, but just a little bit difficult to blend out. However, when I went in with the matte shadow and I went and blended it over that transition to buff and blend out that green, it blended it out beautifully. So I think as a set, the 4 eyeshadows did work very, very well to each other. They complement each other beautifully. And I think that especially the mattes, those are shades that I could see myself reaching for on a very regular basis. So next I'm going to go ahead and move into the face products. We have a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. And honestly, you guys, again, I have nothing bad to say about these. I was already a fan of Physicians Formula's butter products, their butter collection. So I honestly did not expect anything less with this because it's their same formula. It's just her kind of curating the shades. But all 3 of these are stunning. You guys already know I already had the butter bronzer, so I pretty much already knew how that was going to apply to my skin. That formula, I mean, I already had the individual of that, which is what I used in the demo, just so that I'm not dipping into this before I really need to. I had never really tried out their blush. It is beautiful. I mean, it is beautiful. It gives your skin such a radiant kind of glow to it. It just looks so good. And then I already know y'all see this highlight popping. Like, so yeah, honestly, I am very pleasantly surprised specifically by the blush and the highlight shade. I think they are definitely brown girl friendly. They look beautiful on the skin. They don't emphasize texture whatsoever. And you guys know I have large pores. And this just looks stunning on my face. It just blends into the skin so nicely, and it just looks beautiful. I could literally go on and on and on and on about it. I'll just leave it with, it looks beautiful. You guys can see for yourself. It looks stunning. So next up we have the lip color, and honestly I was a little bit thrown off by this. It was not what I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be more of like a lipstick formula, a little bit more pigmented, but it's more of like a sheer lip cream, which isn't an issue. It just was not what I was expecting. I did actually end up going in with a little bit of ColourPop's Pinkies Up just to add a little bit more pigment to my lips, because this is pretty sheer. It's literally like a tinted lip balm, on me at least, and I have pretty pigmented lips, so for me you can see a little bit of the tint, but it's pretty much like a tinted lip balm. So this would be something I would probably throw in my purse and just have if I want to have something to moisturize my lips, but it's definitely not like a super pigmented lip color. I'm not mad at it, just not what I was initially expecting it to be. And then last but not least, we have the fragrance, which smells really, really good, but my little spritzer spray situation does not work. So that's a little bit of a disappointment. I've literally been trying to get this to spray for at least the last 5 minutes. I was thinking like maybe I needed to kind of pump it a couple times, but no, it doesn't work. So that's a little bit of a disappointment. It's an easy fix though, because I do have other little spray bottles that I keep, like even after I finish using the product on the inside, I keep them. And I can just put this in there and it's no big deal. But I do kind of wish that it wasn't broken, because this is super cute and it does smell really, really good. But all in all, do I think this collection is worth your 20 bucks? Absolutely. I think one of the bronzers by itself, I think retails for like $14. Yeah, one of the bronzers by itself retails for $15, and I'm pretty sure like the blushes and highlighters kind of are about the same. So you're getting a bronzer, a blush, a highlighter, all 3 of which are gorgeous. Honestly, I would buy this just for those 3. Then on top of that, you're getting 3 bomb matte shadows that are perfect for any look. Great transition shades. You're getting a really nice matte kind of cream shade, which is great for setting all over the lid and just highlighting the brow bone. So many things that you can use that for. You're getting a beautiful green, which takes a little bit of working with, but not a reason to not purchase this. A nice moisturizing lip balm and a perfume. I mean, it's a great deal, like literally a steal in my opinion. And the products on the inside, the formula, is bomb. So she definitely did her thing with this. A great collaboration, a great choice of a brand to collaborate with for sure. I love Physicians Formula. And as I mentioned in the demo, they did recently launch 2 deeper butter bronzers finally. So I will be picking those up for you guys and reviewing them for you really, really soon. But in the meantime, if you can get your hands on this collection, I would definitely recommend it. I give it 2 thumbs up. And yeah, that is all that I have for you guys for this review. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, give it a big thumbs up to let me know. If you've purchased this collection or if you're planning on purchasing it, let me know down below. Also, let me know what your favorite thing from the collection was or is if you already own it. I would love to know, like, what was the thing that stood out to you guys or the thing that you were most intrigued by. So definitely let me know that down below in the comments. And yeah, that is all that I have for you guys. So thank you so much again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon in my next one.